beautiful. If you will remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance, and we will also recite our civility pledge for the City of Inman. Pledge, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At our city council meetings in the city of Inman, actually we were one of the first cities to adopt the civility pledge from the state of South Carolina. And I would ask you to repeat after me. I pledge to build a stronger and more prosperous community by advocating for civil engagement, respecting others and their viewpoints, and finding solutions for the betterment of my city or town. Please remain standing. At this time, I would like to invite Pastor Ashard Rector, the newly elected pastor of Zion Hill Baptist Church here in Inman, South Carolina, for our invocation.
Good evening. May we pray. Our Father and our God, we come tonight with a heart of thanksgiving, telling you thank you for another day, thank you for health, and thank you for strength. Tonight, Lord, we thank you for every person that is here tonight, Lord. And now, Lord, before we ask you for anything, we ask that you would forgive us of everything. Lord, we admit that we're not perfect individuals, but we serve a perfect God. So tonight, Lord, we ask that you would bless our mayor. We ask that you would bless every elected official. We ask that you would bless every resident of Inman, South Carolina. Bless our city of Inman, South Carolina. Bless our state, United States of America. Lord, we thank you. We praise your name. For us in your Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, you may be seated. All right, we've been through the protocol. Now it's time for everybody to loosen up. You know, we like having a good time in Inman. Y'all know that, right? Huh? Am I talking to the right Inman folks? All right, all right. I am so thankful for the band that played tonight and for the Chapman High School chorus. They have done an outstanding job. Would you please give them a huge round of applause? We are so grateful. And I always want to take a moment to acknowledge our veterans. If you are a veteran, would you please stand and be acknowledged at this time? We truly thank you for your service to us. And I would also like to take a moment and acknowledge all elected officials in the room. Do we have any elected officials? Would you please stand? I got my crowd. Well, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. You are the people that care about your town, and it shows by you being here tonight. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We do have a really good program laid out for us tonight. We're going to move with our program tonight. And our first speaker will be Dr. Smith, and I'm so grateful for our Mayor's Youth Council here in Inman, South Carolina. I think this is the 11th year of the Mayor's Youth Council. All members of the Mayor's Youth Council, would you please stand, our young people from this Chapman High School? Grateful. If you come to one of our city council meetings, you will see that they actually are the ones leading this town and making all the changes and carrying us to a whole nother direction of where we need to go. But tonight, we're going to let them do a lot of work like I always put it on them. And we will have Blaine to please come first and introduce our first speaker for tonight.
Good evening. I am Blaine Fowler, the student body president at Chapman High School. Dr. Mark Smith is superintendent of Spartanburg School District 1. Dr. Smith joined District 1 in the summer of 2023. He received his Bachelor of Arts in Social Studies and Education from Erskine College. He then received his Master of Education from Converse College and Education Specialist and doctoral degrees from South Carolina State University. He previously served as the principal of Dorman Freshman Campus and the assistant principal for Dorman High School and the assistant principal for Dorman Freshman Campus. Smith also taught social studies at Fair Forest Middle School. When Dr. Smith was hired, he stated, "I consider this an opportunity of a lifetime and will prioritize building positive relationships with students, faculty, and staff throughout this transition period." Please welcome Dr. Mark Smith.
I asked Blaine for walk-up music. I see that didn't happen. I mean, come on. Thank you, Blaine. He's one of our best and brightest, as all these children are. I just thank you for an opportunity to join you tonight. Just finished my second year, February 16th. As Blaine said, I've spent my whole life as a child, student, athlete, teacher, coach, assistant principal, district office person in Spartanburg 6. And I always was chasing a dream there and thinking I always want to be in leadership there, be possibly superintendent there. And the Lord has a sense of humor. And He put this in my path 2 years ago, and it's been the greatest honor of my life to move up here with you folks, to live with you. I live in Holly Springs. Give a shout out to Holly Springs. Yeah? No Holly Springers? Come on. They're rowdy. They would have been louder. I love living over there. I brought my family here. We've got 4 kids, but 3 are in school now, or in college. 1 came with me last year and graduated from Chapman. So in that short amount of time, I've got a Chapman graduate. And my baby girl is a 10th grader here at Chapman. And we're just so proud to be a part of this outstanding community. It has just brought me a renewed sense to my dedication to our kids and to education. We are so blessed in Inman, Landrum, and Campobello. Don't get mad at me. I mentioned the other cities, other towns, Mayor. But we're so blessed with Holly Springs and New Prospect and District 1. The sense of community is still there. And I'm so grateful for that. There's still so many connections to the church. Reverend Rector reminded me that I was his teacher and his principal at Dorman, so now I feel 800 years old. So real proud of him. But I can't say enough great things about our community and Inman. I'm just so thankful and honored to serve you. I've told Joe and Mayor Huff, our facilities are your facilities. You pay for these. And we love for you to come be a part of Chapman High School. And we're so proud of our chorus, our band that you were able to enjoy tonight. And we thank Ms. Rostron, our choral director, Kevin Horton, our band director, for the outstanding job they do. So in the little bit of time that Mayor Huff gave me tonight, I was hoping for an hour, but he told me to wrap it up in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in with my brief presentation tonight to you people, you fine people. History of District 1, you know it better than I do. You've lived it. I've only lived it the last 2 years. But the districts were consolidated in Spartanburg County in 1952. And we've only had 5 superintendents in District 1 since then. No pressure. I'm the 5th. I mean, think about that. That is incredible, and it speaks to serving you people. And that's what people ask me from back home down in Roebuck and Pauline. I'm originally from Pauline. They say, well, how do you like it up there? And I say, I love it. And what do they say special about it? I say, well, they still have a sense of community, and for the most part, folks are still connected to the church. What wonderful things to speak of, and that's just from a person that didn't grow up here. That's my compliment to you. We have 11 schools in the district, 950 employees, and around 5,308 students. Of course, that number fluctuates from day to day, but we've got several children. We're not as small as people think when you think about it. I think when they think of District 1, Landrum and Chapman High School, they think we're small, but we're growing, and we're proud of that growth. So this graphic wanted you to see at each one of our schools our population, and looking at our various population groups and our district enrollment. Go ahead for the next one, please. And this is what I'm really proud of. Last year, Landrum High School and Chapman High School were 3rd and 4th in the state of South Carolina in traditional public schools for graduation rate. 96.6%. Somebody's got to clap for that. I can't remember if Landrum or Chapman was ahead or the other way. I'm telling you, they were third and fourth in the state of South Carolina, not counting charter schools or magnet schools, but traditional public schools. We graduate as good as anybody in the state, and that's something to be proud of. Look at our SAT scores, way above the state average. And then our AP and dual enrollment, so many of our students take advantage of that, so they experience college life here at Chapman and Landrum High School, so they are prepared for that next step to a 2-year or 4-year college. So very proud of that. And really what I wanted to look at tonight is we have a building plan vision. And I've been working on the school board with this, and I've been so appreciative of our school board. Had a board meeting last night, second Monday in every month, and they have been so supportive. Because one thing that I noticed when I got here, we have some older buildings in the district. Now, we're very blessed to be in a beautiful building tonight. But even this beautiful building, and it's hard to believe it for you folks, and you probably won't believe it, but Chapman's 19 years old. And I know for many of you, it probably seems like that was yesterday that it was being built, but our staff does such a great job of keeping it clean and well-maintained. It still looks practically brand new, so I'm very thankful for that. So Chapman and Landrum are in good shape, but the rest of our schools we're taking a look at, and I wanted to speak to that tonight. I know that's small print. I'd never thought, this is how you know you're getting old. So my kids are old enough to get us Christmas presents. That's never happened before. My oldest girl graduated from Clemson last year and got a job. She is off the payroll. So she, for the first time in her life, got me a present. And it sounds great until it's not. And you know, I read the good book every day, and my kids know that. So I have been telling them that I've been struggling to see the print. Well, I was just kind of messing around. Guess what they bought me for Christmas? The giant print. And guess what? I love it. I can see it now. So I need the giant print up here, but I'm going to just go through this quickly. This is just a chart of the ages of our school buildings. And I won't even go with the district office. We'll make do, but it just for note, it was back in World War II, 1944, when it was built. Just as a point of reference, it's 81 years old. And looking at Mabry Middle School next, which we all know is the old Chapman High School, okay? It was built in 1954. It's 71 years old, and we're currently using that for Mabry Middle School, 7th and 8th grade. And then you look at Opie Earl, 1955, which is 70 years old. And hop down to Inman Elementary, 1960, 65 years old. And the bottom chart, you'll notice we've been studying the county. And in Spartanburg County, we have the average oldest buildings in the county. 1968 is the average year of construction for our buildings. And the average age of our buildings in District 1 are 58 years old. Just to point out some reference, District 5, the average age of their buildings, 29 years old. District 2, 28 years old. So, you know, that's okay. And you know, I'm just, and it's something we just know is a challenge, but I just want our folks to know it's something we're working on, because obviously we have a great school district and we're doing some exciting things with our curriculum, but we want our students to have world-class facilities as well, because as we look, as Inman is growing, great schools attract great families. We all know that, and they attract businesses as well. So looking at some projects we've done over the years, goes back to the new Chapman and Landrum High School, and the rest of these have been just small additions since then. Go ahead, Joe. And then now this is where we're landing. One vision, one focus. And none of this has been approved yet. We're talking with the board in constant communication, but this is just vision, right? You got to dream. You got to dream big. So this is our dream, okay? The first phase is to limit school choice and to limit out-of-district tuition. I've been blown away how many people are willing to spend $3,500 out-of-district tuition to go to school in District 1. And the education, it is that good. And we have to point with our school capacity now where we're having to limit that, and we're having to limit some school choice. But phase 2, the reason I like phase 1, it doesn't cost anything, right? When you're pragmatic, like phase 1, it's free. Phase 2 will not be free, but I got some good news on that. We are proposing to build a brand new Mabry Middle School. The district several years ago purchased land on 292 and New Cut Road, have 48 acres there, and that's what we're looking to do. It is a beautiful piece of property. I live out that way, and for 2 years I've been driving, or a year and a half I've been driving around that property, past it, and I had no idea that that was District 1. So there was a lot of forethought years ago to purchase that property, and that's where we're looking for Mabry Middle School possibly to go. And then the next thing I would like to point out is O.P. Earl, possibly building a new O.P. Earl, because again, they were built in 55, Mabry was built in 54, of doing those at the same time. Also adding a cafeteria addition to New Prospect and some classrooms. I know that sounds like, oh my gosh, who's going to pay for all this? And I know you're pragmatic, you're like, okay, it's us. But let me give you some great news so you don't tune me out. Because I know how typically things go, like, oh, if it's going to cost me money, I'm going to shut her down, and I'm a no. But let me give you some great news. So our financial advisor with Compass Services gave us some great news about 3 months ago. Our bond rating has changed recently, and that probably doesn't mean a whole lot to you, but in the school business, when you're borrowing money, Moody, I mean, that's a world-renowned institution, they changed our bond rating from an A3 to an A1. That means nothing to you. But in the borrowing money world, that is a big deal. Normally, you only get a 1 rating change. We got a 2 rating change because our physical financial status has greatly improved the last 7 years, okay? Our fund balance is a healthy fund balance at this time, and so financially, we're in a better spot. And when Brian Nurick, our financial advisor, met with me, he said, you're gonna be able to borrow up to $125 million today, okay? And I said, that sounds great, but what's it gonna cost? And he said, you could do that today, and the taxpayers will not have any tax increase. That is a tremendous thank you. That's the kind of excitement that I'm looking for. So we're in the position now, with going to the board's wisdom and us working with the school board and looking at how we can do this and present it to the public. And this is still a vision, but we have the ability to borrow up to $125 million with no tax increase and to do these projects. And then there's a third phase that you'll see that you'll also be happy about, Inman Elementary School. Because Inman Elementary School has been built on to several times, and it's also 65 years old. And what we would do with that is after we build the new Mabry, we would knock down the old Mabry Middle School, Old Chapman. Don't worry, I've already thought about this. We're going to have some type of monument to Chapman High School on that property because we've got to remember our heritage and we got to remember our roots. We will have some part of that school on that property, but how beautiful would a K4 through 5th grade Inman Elementary look on that? We will keep the walking track. You ain't even got to call the mayor. The walking track will stay. I love, one of the joys of my day is to drive by and see our community using it. I love to see our community using your facilities. It just helps us all when we're all on the same team and we're all working together. So that brings me joy. So, that would be in a phase 3. That would be about 7 years down the road. And then, that would be looking at another time where you would borrow some money. And the financial advisor said with that, he believes that this time that would also be without a tax increase. So the bottom line is, we've been very faithful the last 7 or 8 years with your tax dollars, and our financial position has totally changed because I know the past. I've been told of the history, and I know there was some difficulties not too long ago, but with some excellent leadership in our former administration and now, and with excellent school board direction, things are looking really well. So we're super, super excited about that. Next slide, please. Looking at Mabry just a little closer, again, built in 1954. It's had additions in 1969, 1987, 1989, 1991, 1995, 2001, and 2008. It's been built on, and built on. Now I think it's about 5 buildings. And, just looking to improve upon that with a new building. We did a study. We had a study commissioned with McMillan, Pazin & Smith, a local architectural firm, and they do this for a living, and they come through your buildings and they rate it, a 1 through a 5. 1 is bad, needs to be fixed immediately. A 5, it's good. Mabry Middle School had 461 findings. 46% scored a 1 or a 2, and again, you don't want a 1 or a 2. So that is the condition of Mabry Middle School. And we're doing the best with what we have. Our children are troopers, our staff are troopers, but the stats, the data, if you will, plays out that Mabry is due a new school. Folks, we hadn't built a school in this district in 20 years. Think about that, 20 years. So, you know, we're going to be looking to change that. Inman Elementary, you can see, was 1960. Again, multiple additions, 1967, 74, 91, 95, and 2001. They had 436 findings, and 19% scored a 1 or a 2. So, you know, Inman will be right behind Mabry. You can't do those both at the same time because I'd have somewhere to put Inman, okay? So that's why Mabry's got to go first. Next slide, please. And the final, I'd like to close with our mission is to provide everybody a quality, student-centered education. That's been our mission for decades. I love that. We try to stay student-centered, student-focused. We have the best students in the state of South Carolina and the best staff. And you know, and y'all don't get enough credit. I love our parents. Our parents and grandparents are the backbone of this district. And I want to say thank you for raising some great kids. And I'm not just saying that. I have been other places, and I loved where I came from. But when I came up here, I feel like I've been dropped off in Disney World or Dollywood, whatever your political affiliation, whichever one you wanna go with. You know, that's a joke. That's a joke. But so thrilled to be a servant in your district. If you ever have questions, if you ever have anything to reach out about, shoot me an email, give me a phone call. My door is always open. We have a great relationship with Mayor Huff. He does such a wonderful job with his youth council. So we just enjoy working with you all in the city of Inman. Thank you so much.
We promise to load you up with information tonight. And thank you, Dr. Smith, for that. It's been great. We need these schools. Yes, this is good stuff. All right. Something I'm extremely excited about, the Saluda Grade Trail. At this time, we have our youth council to come and introduce Laura Ringo.
Good evening, Inman. I'm Louisa Sterrett, and I am currently in 11th grade here at Chapman High School and a member of the Mayor's Youth Council. Laura Ringo has served as the Executive Director for PAL for almost 20 years. PAL improves health and wellness through Spartanburg community by creating an environment and culture that fosters physical activity and healthy eating. PAL is a small nonprofit working to enact large-scale change. Under Ms. Ringo's guidance, PAL has been able to make significant progress with numerous health and wellness incentives. Some of these programs are the revitalization of Duncan Park, the Spartanburg Food System Coalition, which works to strengthen our local food system to help provide greater access to healthy food options, and the 55-mile Dan Trail system. We are excited to have Laura provide us with an update on the Saluda Grade Trail this evening. Please help me welcome Ms. Laura Ringo to the podium.
Good evening. My name is Laura Ringo. I'm the Executive Director of PAL, Play, Advocate, Live Well. It is an absolute treat to be here. I love Inman. I don't live too far away, but at some point I hope to be at least an honorary citizen of Inman. But I really, it's been such a treat to work with your community. I'd like to recognize a couple of colleagues as I get started. First, Michael Forrester, who is here. He is on the Saluda Grade Trails Conservancy Board and a former PAL board member. Taylor Dement is in the back. He is a PAL board member and works over at One Spartanburg. The team at One Spartanburg has been tremendously supportive of this initiative. And finally, I'd love for anybody who's on one of our Saluda Grade committees to raise their hand. We've got some folks that are putting in Lou and Councilman Newman. We've got Palin, I see Palin in the back, and Jessica. We've got some great folks that are really helping make this a reality, and we're so appreciative of their time and their investment. If you're interested in getting involved, we'd love to tell you more about it. All right, next slide, Joe. So PAL is building trails both in the urban area of Spartanburg. We're building out a the Daniel Morgan Trail System, which will be a 55-mile urban trail system. So that's one network. The other one, of course, is the Saluda Grade Trail. But I've got a list of some of the many reasons that we love trails. Trails are great for health. They're great for both our physical health, to get out, to get some exercise. They're great for our mental health and mental wellness. There's nothing like a walk or a run or a bike ride after work to clear your head. We also know that healthy children and healthy families learn better, so it's a great partnership with education. And trails are great for getting out into nature. And then I think one of the things Mayor Huff and I've talked about a lot is how great trails are for economic development. We hope that people will get on the Saluda Grade Trail. They will stop in some of the wonderful shops and restaurants and coffee shops in downtown Inman and spend their dollars in your community supporting small business. There's great examples like Travelers Rest that saw the number of businesses after the Swamp Rabbit came skyrocket by more than 50 new small businesses in a very short amount of time. So we hope that this will be a great driver of economic development and really support small businesses in Inman. So this is not obviously the Saluda Grade Trail numbers. It hasn't hit the ground yet, but these are numbers for the Dan Trail Network. So we have infrared trail counters on the different segments. So we're able to track uses over time. And so when people walk by the counters, it'll count how many times they go back and forth. And so as you can see, the red is 2017. We had 128,000 uses. Then it goes to 2019, 2021, 23, and then 2024 we had 701,000 uses on the trails in the Spartanburg area. So I think this is a great way to show that Spartanburg loves trails, has really embraced being outside and being active and healthy, and we expect the Saluda Grade will follow suit. You all have probably seen this map a lot, but this is the project area. So the orange line shows the rail line. So it starts down in Inman, just at Inman Health and Fitness. So just outside of town, continues up to Campobello, and then to Landrum, and then on into North Carolina. So it is a 31.5-mile corridor, and it's a pretty even split between the state of South Carolina and the state of North Carolina. We are working with 2 other nonprofits to make this a reality. Upstate Forever, who works in the South Carolina region, and then Conserving Carolina, who will be who's our North Carolina partner. So Conserving Carolina will lead the implementation in North Carolina, and PAL will lead the implementation in South Carolina. I feel like this is probably the question I get asked the most, and I don't know that I have good answers for you. So, but I will of course share what we know. So we get asked all the time when this is going to be a reality. So we're in the process of purchasing the line. We signed a contract with Norfolk, and I should say we created a new organization, the Saluda Grade Trails Conservancy, made up of the 3 nonprofits to buy the line. We needed one entity to purchase the line. So that the Saluda Grade Trails Conservancy signed a contract with Norfolk Southern in July 2024. We have 12 months to get all of our due diligence done and to close on the project. So we expect that we will get through the acquisition process by this summer. Right now we are wrapping up due diligence. So we have the survey for the South Carolina portion. They are working on North Carolina. As you can guess, that's been a little slower than we had hoped. The Hurricane Helene certainly did a whole lot of damage to the corridor up in North Carolina, and so it's slowed down the survey process, but that's continuing along. We're in the midst of some title work. We're doing some environmental assessments. And so we're continuing to do all of the things you need to do to move a real estate transaction forward. We also, so I mentioned we'll be closing by July. We've got some funding that Senator Graham allocated through a community projects grant, and that will allow us to go ahead and start on engineering and design. So that will be our next big step, will be to start to get an engineer hired and to really start putting pencil to paper and designing what the project is going to look like. We expect that we will have a lot of community engagement sessions and property owner meetings, and think that we're going to make that as open of a process as possible. That we think will take, I don't know, 2-ish years. And then at that point, one of the things that we will be able to do is get a solid cost estimate. There's been a lot of questions about how much it's going to cost to build this facility, and we don't know because it's not been designed. So a 10-foot trail is not as expensive as a 15-foot trail as is a 20-foot trail. So we need to figure out exactly what it is that we're going to build so that we can come up with some solid numbers for construction. One of the other things that we're looking into right now is what it's going to take to remove all of the rail and the other track material. So we've started meeting with different contractors that are interested in removing that. We'll have an RFP process to get that done. And we're not exactly sure when that's going to happen, but that's certainly on our radar as to something that we want to do relatively soon. And then, of course, we'll move into a construction phase as we start getting some designs done. We've got, as part of the funding from Senator Graham's grant award, we've got a little bit of money that we hope will fund at least a first phase of construction. All right. And then that's really about all we've got right now. If you are interested in more information, there is the Saluda Grade Trail website. On that website is a feasibility study that outlines what the project is, kind of where we are in the project. They looked at the conditions of the bridges, and they looked at where some of the challenges are going to be with road crossings. So if you enjoy getting into some of the details, there's some great information in that. We also send out regular email updates and certainly welcome you to sign up for that. And then we're looking for folks who are interested in being trail ambassadors. So if you're interested, let me know. And what that means is people who want to be really in the know of the project are going to help us promote it with the community, but you're not necessarily interested in attending meetings. And so those are going to be people that we're going to communicate regularly and look to you all to help us get the word out when there's stuff happening. So I'll be outside at one of the tables afterward and certainly would welcome any conversation. So thank you, and it's always a treat to be in Inman.
All right. I'm super excited. Our Lieutenant Governor is in the house. I am so happy. Come on, let's make some noise for our Lieutenant Governor. We are so grateful. Let's take a moment, because I can see it in you. Everybody, just kind of stand up a second. I want you to stand up. Let's do it. Let's follow the mayor's lead, because I do this a lot of times. But I'm always at seminars, and it can wear you out. All right, stretch up, stretch your arms back, stretch back, rock your head around. All right, and do the wall. Do the wall. They call it doing the wall. You good? All right. That woke you up. So, we're going to have our Mayor's Youth Council to come and introduce our Lieutenant Governor. And you know what we do here in Inman? We make noise and we appreciate her. So, Blaine, please come.
My name is Parker Gramling. I'm currently the junior class president and a member of the Mayor's Youth Council. Pamela Evitt is the 93rd Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina and the first female Republican Lieutenant Governor. An entrepreneur and businesswoman, Evitt founded Quality Business Solutions, a payroll, HR, and benefits service firm headquartered in Travelers Rest. Under her leadership, OBS grew from a startup to one of the nation's fastest growing small businesses. Evitt has received numerous businesses and professional accolades, including the Athena Leadership Award and the Enterprising Women of the Year Award. Since taking office in January of 2019, Evett has been laser focused on utilizing her professional background to serve the people and businesses of South Carolina. She has dedicated her time to highlighting South Carolina's thriving small business ecosystem and attracting new businesses to the Palmetto State. Beyond business, Evett's passion for serving others has guided her focus on early childhood education and reading. She is also a vocal supporter of our state's world-class technical college system as a pathway to career success. Evett holds a Bachelor of Business Administration and Accounting from Cleveland State University. A resident of Travelers Rest, Evett enjoys spending time with her husband Davis, their 3 children, and her mother who lives with them. Please help me welcome Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett to the Inman.
Well, good evening, everyone. It's great to be here in Inman. It's just a stone's throw from TR. See, I can say TR when I'm here this close, because if I'm anywhere else in the state and I see TR, everybody's wondering what I'm talking about. But y'all know where TR is. It's just a stone's throw. But Mayor, thank you so much. Thank you to the City of Inman for having me here tonight. It gets exciting for me to talk about what's happening here in Inman and Spartanburg County and across the state. Lots of wonderful things going on. And Laura, thank you so much for that talk about the Saluda Grade Trail. I've got to say it all together, but I think a lot of people don't realize that ecotourism makes up a huge part of our PRT budget, our hospitality budget. And so, you know, when we have people that come in from all over the country to look at our beaches, to play on our golf courses, to hike our amazing parks. Our parks really got a lot of acclaim and attention during COVID when everybody was dying to get outside, and that has not slowed down. I like to tell friends, my colleagues from across the country, is that we have waterfalls here in South Carolina that would rival anything that you would see in Hawaii. So it's just a matter of getting out and getting moving and seeing what's going on. You know, here in Spartanburg County has proven to be a huge hub of opportunity. In 2024 alone, Spartanburg County attracted $745 million in new investment and 1,220 new jobs. That is quite a success. So as we look all around the state, we are seeing growth everywhere. And I can tell you, I have the opportunity to meet with businesses from not just around the country, but around the globe. And when I ask them, well, what brings you to South Carolina? I'm going to tell you the things here tonight. One, if you look around the room, you can see a lot of law enforcement sticking all around. Let's give a big round of applause for South Carolina's law enforcement. It goes without saying that we back our men and women in blue. The men and women who fight to keep our communities, our state, our neighborhoods safe every single day. And that's what businesses talk about. When they are looking at investing and investing a lot of money, they want to know that wherever they put their business and wherever they're going to put their employees, they want to know that that environment is safe. And South Carolina has a reputation for that, which makes growing very easy. The second thing that people talk about when coming here is our world-class technical college system. And I want to tell you some funny stories. So I'm a mom of 3, like you heard, and so I love talking about my kids when it comes to all the initiatives I do, because it makes it so real, and it makes you understand why our technical college system is so important to me. So being Lieutenant Governor, I've been able to be at all of our campuses and see what they do. But long before I was Lieutenant Governor, my middle son, Joey, God-given the smartest of all my children, right? You always have that one child where whatever comes naturally to them is exactly what they hate to do, right? So school was not something he liked. So when he came home and said, Mom, I think I want to go to Greenville Tech, I thought that was fine. Until I was out at the lacrosse field with a bunch of friends. My middle son, Joey, is a big lacrosse guy. And everybody was talking about where their kids were going to go to college. And I started talking about Joey, and I said, well, you know, Joey's going to go to Greenville Tech. And I had this look of shock. And many of my friends looked at me and said, oh my God, did he not get into Clemson? Do you think he's going to get in later? And I said, well, no, he didn't want to go. See, because as I was putting my head down and growing my business, I didn't realize how far the pendulum had swung on looking at our technical college system as a second-tier option. And really, it's not. great paying jobs coming out of our technical college system. See, my dad was a tool and die maker, so I never thought anything about working with your hands, doing advanced manufacturing, because see, that's what put me and my 3 older brothers through college and put a roof over our head. So I got very involved with using my soapbox and my microphone to really talk about our technical college system. When businesses come here from all across the country, and like I said, across the globe, they want to make sure that we can provide for them the workforce of tomorrow. And that's what our technical college system does. And let me tell you, I learned about great career choices like mechatronics. Mechatronics takes mathematics and robotics and puts it together. Those kids that come out of that degree, out of any of our technical colleges, start out between $50,000 and $55,000 a year. With a 2-year degree, in 3 years, if they prove to be a good employee, they're making 6 figures. That is nothing to laugh at. And those kids can barely get through the programs before they're hired by one of our amazing advanced manufacturers from around the globe. Now, when we talk about these things, I got to tell you about a great story. I was at ZF Transmission, and there was a student there. He was a high school student, and he got into the mechatronics program at ZF Transmission. And he said initially, his goals were to go to Clemson to get an engineering degree, and that's what he thought he really wanted to do, until his guidance counselor told him about this program. So he started on the dual path enrollment program that we heard Dr. Smith talk about, lots of kids going through that program. And what he learned is that he loved working with his hands. And so he is going to continue on at ZF Transmission after graduation, and ZF Transmission will pay for him to go to Clemson to get his engineering degree whenever he decided he wanted to do that. What a great opportunity. But what I thought was amazing is that when I asked him, so what made you do this, and how do we get other kids, your friend group, to want to do the same thing, to take a chance on these career paths? You know what he told me? He said, you have to tell us why you need us. You have to tell us why what we're doing is so important. And I was there with Director Floyd, the head of Department of Workforce, our Department of Workforce, and I said, we got to get this kid on film. Because if we can get him out there talking to high school students, letting him understand that there are so many paths to a great career, I said, we are going to hit it out of the park. Because see, I went from business to my role as lieutenant governor, so I spent my first year really traveling around the state, as most would say, drinking out of a fire hose, doing a lot of listening with businesses. And that was the one thing business kept saying, is we need kids to come out of school. We need them to have soft skills. When we get them, they don't know how to talk to each other. They don't know how to conflict resolute. They don't know how to talk to clients who aren't happy. And I dare to say, they don't know that they have to show up at 8 o'clock if their start time is at 8 o'clock. And they said, Lieutenant Governor, can't you teach that in high school? And I listened, because I owned a business, a national company, and so I was feeling those same pains. But you know, when it's just you think this is just must be me. And then I talked to parents, and parents kept saying, Lieutenant Governor, can you please teach kids fiscal responsibility? Our kids don't seem to know the value of a dollar. And so as the governor was working very hard, and if you listen to the state of the state, what we're pushing for again this year is for the General Assembly to fund our WINS program. That will provide scholarships to employees who kind of are stuck in a tier 1 job that can't seem to go up because they didn't take advantage of our technical colleges, right? So they didn't have a secondary degree or certification. Since we've done that, we have made huge impacts in our workforce. When I first became lieutenant governor 7 years ago, only 41% of South Carolinians had a secondary degree or certification. With the WINS program in effect, we're at 51%. We have moved the needle 10% in just 7 years, which is huge. But as the governor and I were pushing for that, and the General Assembly was giving those dollars to our technical colleges for career choices that we knew we were going to fall short on in the future, I started to look around and see that a lot of our mom and pop businesses didn't have employees. And then I listened to a great podcast and started reading some articles and soon realized that here in South Carolina, across our country, and across the globe, youth employment is at the lowest it has been in our history. Our kids simply aren't working. So sitting in a high school and with the superintendent right here, I'm going to talk to you about my YES program. So I decided to travel around the state and talk to businesses and really connect to find out which ones would hire kids and what that would mean. And as I started talking to those employers, they would say, you know, when you get a high schooler, 16, 17, even 15, depending on the job, they come in, they're very nervous, they're anxious, there's a lot of anxiety. But 30, 45 days in, they get a whole renewed sense of confidence. They start to be able to deal with people. They start to be able to deal with conflict. They become really great employees. So I said to my husband, David, I said, this is what we have to do. This needs to be the mission that I carry forward, is talking to parents and getting our kids working again. Because you see, it's really hard to teach soft skills in a classroom. Well, we kind of do that. It's called drama class, but it's not the same. But it's even harder to teach kids the value of a dollar who have never had a job, who have never had to give up something fun that they were doing to show up at a job. So my youngest son, Jackson, I'll talk about two of my three children now tonight. So Jackson was 15 when I started this 2 years ago, and I came home and I said, buddy, guess what? I'm starting a youth workforce initiative across the state. So guess who's getting a job this summer, right? And I'll tell you, it was probably the best thing. And what happened in my house, I would dare say would happen in everybody else's house. Because my son Jackson went out, got a job as a lifeguard at a water park, 15 years old, was making $15 an hour. My husband was just in awe because he thought that was the best job for a 15-year-old boy, to work at a water park and watch teenage girls run around in bathing suits all day and get paid for it. And usually overtime, right? Because not many kids are working. But we need our kids to work because our small businesses need them. As we are skilling everybody up to take on level 2, level 3 job careers, we are leaving our mom and pops and our small businesses with a workforce shortage. And those are wonderful jobs that will teach our kids the skill set they need to be productive through the rest of their life. So I love to leave people with a few things to think about. If you have a son or daughter, a granddaughter, grandson, at home, tell them to go out to the Department of Workforce's website, you can put in Lieutenant Governor, you can put in Youth Workforce, and we have made a website that we are driving small businesses and our kids to, so they can match up jobs with where they live, so they can put in their zip code, they can put in their age, and it will only show them the jobs that will hire them within their area. Apprentice South Carolina is going to be putting their jobs on that website too, so that we can keep kids pushing in the same direction. Because if we continue to create the workforce of tomorrow, we will continue to grow here in South Carolina. And as most of you have heard, South Carolina ranks #1 in U-Haul destinations. So the word is out. I just want to leave you with a couple more things about the state. Again, if you watch the Governor's State of the State, we are asking for some things this year. First and foremost, infrastructure. Making sure that more money is going into our roads and bridges to make sure that our amazing manufacturers can get their goods all around. South Carolina, we are blessed to have the deepest, widest port on the East Coast. Also another huge jewel in our crown. But something we have that no other state does is we have 2 inland ports. One right here in Spartanburg and one in Dillon that gets goods to the port and off of our roads as quickly as it can. So great investment going on in infrastructure. The governor also asking the General Assembly to make sure that we can do a study grant and look out 15 years to find out what are those jobs going to be. How do we work with our K through 12 education? How do we work with our higher education to make sure that we have the teachers and the curriculum that'll skill our young people up to be ready to accept those jobs? And energy. South Carolina cannot grow unless we can expand our energy. So as the governor will say, we have everything on the table, from nuclear to small modular nuclear reactors to solar. South Carolina is committed to growing our energy resources. We need to make sure that energy for every South Carolinian is reliable and affordable. And that is a big thing we'll be working on, a lot coming out of the General Assembly with that. But we should all be very proud of what happens in South Carolina. Because as you heard from Dr. Smith, from the mayor, we are Team South Carolina. From the state to our local communities to every single one of you out there, we make up that team. And we are doing amazing things, and I want you to think of it through the lens of South Carolina's fingerprints. Here in South Carolina, we produce more BMWs than anywhere in the world. Those are South Carolina's fingerprints. We have Lockheed Martin building the F-16 Block 70s. Those are keeping us and our allies safe all over the globe. Those are South Carolina's fingerprints. 28 boat builders here in South Carolina sending boats out to the Prince of Qatar. South Carolina's fingerprints. And from what we're doing in our life sciences world and the amazing research we're doing in medicine, we are affecting the entire globe. So with that, I hope I've made you as proud of South Carolina as I am. I want to thank you for coming tonight and caring so much about your community. I am literally just a phone call away. Call my office, send me an email. I am truly sincere that I love to hear from South Carolinians all around our state. We have an open door policy, the governor and I, and we want to help. So thank you all so much, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant. So we have something for you. In Inman, we celebrate you. This is a packet from the City of Inman.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great swag. I'll wear it proud.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap things up here just real shortly, but I need to shift gears just for a second. Because Inman, tonight we have 3 special people that have worked for you and worked for this city and have given their blood, sweat, and tears for you for almost 30 years. And they are retiring, but they will always be with us. Tonight, Governor, would you join me? Absolutely. We would like to recognize Bob Manna, 28 years, lab director, sewer superintendent of the sewer department. Bob, are you here? Come on up, Bob. Come on up.
Bob Shy.
Yeah, Bob Shy.
Bob is shy.
As Bob is coming, our fire chief, 30 years, Chris Cawthorn. Please come. And I call her the Queen of Inman, Miss Robin Henderson, 28 years as our city clerk. Inman City Council, will you join us? Come on, Bob.
Bob thinks there's safety in numbers. He's waiting for everybody else.
I just have a seat. Yeah, stand right over there.
Congratulations. Nice to meet you.
We have a presentation for
Wonderful
each
to
of you.
meet you.
Come back and see us. I'm not ready to kill you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna come back and see you. You're gonna have to show me around. Firefighters all this weekend, and all these. You all are amazing.
Governor, would you please give each of them an Inman flag?
I would absolutely do that. Thank you so much, Bob.
Now, you see these flags, right? Those flags are signed by every employee of the City of Inman. The reason we didn't frame them yet, because we want you to sign each other's. And we will have those framed and matted at our Inman Frame House, and they will be with you forever. We can't thank you enough for the service that you provided for this great city. You are my heart. I love you guys. Please stand. Robin would not, she probably won't say anything because I know how she is. Robin, you want to say something?
I am proud to be a part of the Inman team and a resident of the City of Inman.
Yes. Kyle?
I tell them all the time I wouldn't go anywhere else. It's the best place in the world to be. I've been part of this fire department for about 47 years, so nowhere else to go except right here.
Bob?
This is my favorite job, and actually got to say, almost every day I enjoy coming to work.
That's everybody, Bob.
That's everybody, Bob.
I've had another job where I hated going to work every day. I dreaded it. So just once in a while, it's not too bad.
We love Bob.
There you go.
Again, let's congratulate them all for being with us. Thank you. Do you need pictures, Mr. Adam? You good?
I got good guys.
Take care. We're going to wrap things up, but I have to talk to you and tell you about this great city and where we're going and what we're doing. In 2015, we were in this building, and the building was packed. We didn't have any idea the direction of where we were going to take Inman. All we knew is that Inman, the sidewalks were rolling up, there was dust everywhere. We were 84% how would I say this? The buildings were empty, at least by 84% downtown. Inman City Council put together a plan. We listened to you, you joined in, the youth council joined in, and we put together a plan. I'm proud to say that we're almost 80% full capacity downtown Inman today. I had a vision that was given to me years ago and I didn't understand it. Sometimes as you become older, you realize exactly your destiny and the things that was projected in my head. I just like, Lord, have mercy. I've got so much pressure. We've got to get this city to this area. And it was a lot of work, a lot of work. This city council has had a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of late nights sitting up. You know, there was a time when people used to be on Facebook and they would cut us down and talk trash about us and tell us what we wasn't. They tell us what we wasn't this, we wasn't that, we wasn't better than Landry. But let me tell you something. You can't talk junk about him and now. Am I right about it? So let's talk a little bit about the history of Inman. The city of Inman was incorporated 143 years ago. They even gave us a date. I didn't know that date until the day. I knew it was in 1882, but December the 22nd. If you are new to this area, this is the history. Inman earned its unique name after Samuel David Inman. And I tell everyone when I go speak that this whole town was started from a railroad. In 1877, the railroad came through this great town and established it. 1901, James A. Chapman founded Inman Mills. Is there anyone here that worked at the Inman Mills factory? Raise your hand. You work at Inman Mills? In 1930, we were called the fresh peach capital of the world. Now, we all know that those days have come and gone. A lot of the places that I work, it's grateful to see Mom Bishop back there, Nan Bishop from Bishop's Farms. That's where I was raised and grew up on that farm as a young fella. About 10 years old, I was aggravating her to death. And to see her sitting back there smiling, I love you, Mom. But all of the farms and all of those areas, they're no longer producing peaches. They're no longer there. The majority of them are homes and residential now. Let's talk about some of the great businesses that have survived the storms of Inman. The Frame House, the Newmans. Would you please stand? You're here. I see you sitting there. Would you please stand and be recognized? The Frame House has been with us for over 40 years. And these are people who made the anchors here in this city and still alive. And I know you've seen some rough times and you've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is, I think, the first building back in the day. It was right on the corner of Mill. And I don't know what kind of party you were having there, Roger. Harvest Day. Part of Harvest Day. It's just real good to bring out some of these old pictures, you know. Kempson Rexall Drug. Wow. 120 years of operation with 5 different owners throughout this time. Do we have the owners of Kempson here tonight? Sandy and his wife. Look at them. What an awesome job that you did to be on CBS News last month. Did y'all see that? We were nationwide. CBS News talking about the Kempson Drug Store. Sandy, we can't thank you enough for the things that you're doing for this great city, taking care of people. These people have heart. I'm not going to tell all of it, but I tell you, they give their hearts for this community. And you need to go visit them because the soda machine is still up and running. And they got snacks, they got food, they got everything going on. And if you haven't moved your drug prescriptions there, that's where you need to be. I'm coming. C. Wright's Funeral Home, 100 years of service. Is there anyone here tonight from C. Wright's? It was just so great to have Bob. Bob was our, what do you call the parade guy? Grand Marshal for the City of Inman. They have been providing services for everyone here, years and years. Let's talk about Inman Mills. When the mill closed, it was desolate for quite some time. I want to say that the renovations, I don't have the correct date. I think the renovations took place about 4 to 5 years ago. Am I correct, Kevin? A little more than that. But that renovation, where they turned that mill into apartments, brought 140 new apartments. And if you just put 2 people in each apartment, what's the score? That's almost 300 and something new citizens to the city of Inman. That fast. And they're there, and it's beautiful, and it's running. They actually still have the plant in operation. The Saybrook plant is still open operation. And it's just amazing to have that businesses still here and anchored for the city of Inman. Our growth in the last 10 years, there's some numbers here that are absolutely astonishing. In year 2000, they said our population was 1,950 people. I don't believe this Census Bureau stuff. I see it, I see the numbers, but sometimes I really don't believe it because I see the people. In 2023, 20 years we have almost doubled that capacity. You're looking at 3,300 citizens that they say are registered voters here in our city. Now, this is the chart that I really want you to see. The sewer taps. In 2018, when I say the sewer taps, these are customers that are on our sewer system. You had 2,047 taps, 2,047 homes. I want you to look. In 2024, we have increased in between that almost 800 homes. 800 homes in what, 6 years? You see the growth. Here's the numbers. This is what's happening to our community. Business license. We talk about the businesses for the City of Inman. 2021, we had 296 people come into City Hall and come see Miss Robin, and they applied for a business license. This could be some home, just any business from restaurants to mom and pops or you name it. We had 296. Look at 2025. That's how many business licenses were put out in the City of Inman. 608 businesses. That has doubled. What I'm trying to tell you is the people are here and they're coming, and it's happening every single day. We're growing, and if you don't see it, I don't know what else to tell you. Our hospitality tax revenue. This is hospitality tax money that we receive from our restaurants. And this is the money that we use to fund a lot of our projects that you have seen downtown. In 2020, we collected $306,000. Thank God for all the new restaurants that we have now, especially downtown and the ones that are coming. In 2024, look at how much we've received in hospitality funding, $483,000. And that's why we're able to have such a great time here in Inman, South Carolina for all of the events. This is some of the residential neighborhoods that are being built at this time. Muscadine Valley, this is right here beside Chapman High School. I want to say 60 homes. Woo-wee, 107. And those houses will start at about $500,000. 107 homes. The cottage at Lake Emery. How many of you come over the hill and looked over and seen all of the residential homes being built in that area? It's astonishing. Las Casas, this is right off of Clark Road. That development started within 2 years. They had completely built out. Lee, can you tell me how many houses are there? 68 homes. Barry's Mill behind Bilo. That project has been completed within 4 to 5 years. How many homes, Lee? There you go. The special events that we hold here in Inman have been absolutely amazing. How many of you are actually enjoying Music on Mill? Great times, great times. I want to honor Kevin Newman, our city councilman, for starting that project and keeping that project bouncing. You and the Newmans, you did such a great job. And thank God, have y'all seen the new pavilion that we were able to build downtown Inman? Have you seen that project? Absolutely amazing. And the funding that we received from the state of South Carolina to assist us from our state representative, Stephen Long, and Josh Kimmer, our senator, helped us fund these projects. These are projects that didn't have to come out of your pocket completely as a taxpayer. It's been amazing the help that we have been receiving. Harvest Day, absolutely. Harvest Day that brings people from everywhere. So this year, the Light Up Inman project, can you go back that slide just one second? Can you back that up? We have the car show, Boo on Mill, the Jeff Bailey fishing tournament, the Main Street project. But Light Up Inman, We had almost 7,000 people that we know we recorded because thank you to Spartanburg One for providing us with data. Alan Smith, please stand up for just a second. I gotta recognize this man. This is the man that's making things happen all over Spartanburg County. He's leading Spartanburg One, and we are glad to be a part of that project, being part of Spartanburg One. We can call them and get data, and the data that we received, we had over 5,000 cell phones downtown Inman during the Christmas parade. Okay, that's just 5,000 cell phones. Can you imagine if just, you imagine two people with each one cell phone, you got a husband and a wife, or you got children. So that really took us way over, almost 10,000 people downtown for the Light Up Inman program. All right, I'll let you move forward. We're talking about our downtown growth, the Makers Market. Our city council, I mean, if y'all not been in her store yet, you're missing a treat. We have some beautiful things taking place in our stores downtown. Jack & Co., that's I stay in trouble with my wife. I spend a little bit too much money there. In Jack & Co., they have some fabulous stuff. The Med Spa and Mill, Pink Salon, Amanda Blackwell, I call her the fire starter because she was the first one to actually make a huge investment in making Inman look better. She spent a lot of money building these buildings, and she took on to the vision of Inman, and it has been phenomenal, the people that travel all over just to come to her location. Honey Child, we stole them from Landrum. Honey Child, are y'all in the house? Are they here tonight? You talking about having some children's clothing? They have the world's finest in that store. Vintage Restore and More. I think y'all are here. Are y'all here in the house? Are they here? I saw them earlier. If you haven't been in this store, you need to go visit the stuff that she has. It's absolutely beautiful. Great Escapes. There are people coming from North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, just to come to an escape room. I've never been in an escape room in my life. Have you ever been in an escape room? Anybody in here? You been in an escape room? Never been. It's a big thing. People travel all over just to come to the escape room. So a lot of times on Saturday when you see a bunch of cars downtown, that's where they are. The Crepe Factory. We're so glad. Denise has just done some amazing things to her building, and we have our mural that actually tells the story of Inman, South Carolina on the side of her wall, and she has great food there. The Inman Beer Vault, I call that the family pub. If you haven't had an opportunity to go there and spend time, you're missing out. You don't have to drink alcohol because they have non-alcohol stuff and they have food in there, but they have a game room in the back of that little area. You could rent out and have parties, and it's just an amazing place, absolutely amazing. I'm going to talk bigger because I love all of our town buildings downtown. The Roadhouse, excellent food at the Roadhouse. We're so glad for Carl and his organization. They're doing a fantastic job. Home Run Cafe, Tia is everywhere. She's all over him. And I congratulate Tia because she started actually the program Market on Meal on Sundays. Have y'all been taking advantage of that? The Market on Meal on Sundays, like once or twice a month. She's doing a fantastic job. You should support that. Our downtown growth, our largest investment in the city of Inman's history as far as downtown business, Holiday Brewery. Y'all here tonight? Jim, are you here? Please stand, Jim. They have invested almost $6 million in our city with their establishment. If you haven't had their food, you are missing out. You gotta go see Holiday. There's people traveling. I keep saying it from all over because if you ever are downtown and you look around, there's license plates from all over the state. They're coming. Inman is a new destination. The Saluda Grade Trail. I'm gonna touch just one thing and I'm gonna sit down on that. But Wayne McCall was the mayor of Travelers Rest. He's a very, very good friend of mine. Wayne told me, we were sitting at the Municipal Association meeting in Columbia, and I began to try to tell him a little about it. He knew about it, and he says, Cornelius, first of all, don't fight it. He says, number two, you can't prepare for what's getting ready to happen to your community. He says, He never thought the Travelers Rest would turn to what it was today. But because of the Swamp Rabbit Trail, there's people coming from all over. So what I'm trying to tell you now, Inman's gonna change. You think we have something now? You wait till about 5, 6, 7 years, because it starts right here in Inman. Prepare for it. We're doing everything that we can to provide the infrastructure, prepare you for the people that are coming, and to see the new changes. It's been a task, but the Inman City Council, I thank you for what you're doing, staying head up on this stuff. And I'm grateful to have a council that's just, they're not reactive, they're proactive, and that's been great. Get ready, get ready, get ready. The wastewater treatment plant. Everybody wants to know, why in the world is he talking about the poo-poo plant? Right? But I want you to know something. Without this, Inman wouldn't be what it is today. This is where it all starts. Businesses come when they find out that you have the greatest wastewater treatment plant. That's what brings them. That's what brings them. So we have invested in this project. Right now, we currently have 1.125 million gallons per day that's produced. Lee Inman, please stand up. This is our director of our sewer department. He's been with us for multiple years. We're gonna grow to 1.5 million gallons a day. And the infrastructure that we're preparing for right now, which is under construction, we're preparing for up to 2 million gallons a day. We have broke ground with the expansion project. This is what it used to look like. And as you can see, they're building the lakes and the ponds. You are a citizen of Inman. If you would like to go down to the sewer department and just see where your money is being invested, you can absolutely go and visit that. It will blow your mind. If you don't understand what's going on down in the sewer department, come down and see Lee. Let him give you a tour of what's taking place. Major development that is taking place right now. We're preparing for the growth. That's what we're doing. City Hall and other projects. So, you see this little part? Go back one second. Go back one second. You look too fast on me on that one. You see this? You know where this alley is? Y'all know where that's at? We're just waiting on a water tap from Inman Capabella Water District, and that is going to be torn up, and guess what's coming? We are putting a pocket park, the Inman Pocket Park, 12 South Main Street, and it's for you to come and enjoy, to have parties, to have weddings, you name it. But this will have Wi-Fi. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be able for you to come out there and have little concerts, but this is your park. You can rent it. You can have so much fun downtown Inman. That's one of the things of our master plans. We want to make Inman so beautiful to make people want to come downtown and stay downtown. This is one of the things that we're doing to match up with our pavilion. The same way we have that new pavilion, you can have it. You can come rent it. That's your pavilion. I want to see you downtown. We had a huge problem with parking. Y'all know this. I've heard this a million times. Parking downtown Inman. So we're getting ready to establish on the corner of Howard Street and Prospect Street, 52 new parking spaces. That construction should start within the next 2 months. If the weather holds and everything goes great, within the next 2 months, we'll have that ground broken. Right now, this is a picture of the first City Hall. You kind of know where that's at. It's behind the pavilion. This is on Bishop Street. That's what it used to look like back in the 40s, 30s and 40s. I think they had a mayor and a couple of council members and one city clerk, and that was about it. So they saw the need to rebuild, not rebuild, they repurposed the post office. The post office moved to the old, I think it was called Community Cash Building then. And so they repurposed this building, and we have been in this building for quite some time. But we have outgrown our City Hall. Absolutely outgrown our City Hall. We currently have our city administrator, 2 clerks, you can read it, currently 15 staff members in there at this time. Within the next 5 years, we will have nearly 20, if not more. And within the next 10 years, we're going to have at least 24 full-time people in those positions. So, my vision that was given to me years ago is getting ready to come to reality, because we have purchased the property of Inman Campobello Water District, and we're going to build a brand new city hall. This city hall will be your city hall. This city hall will host the new fire station, because our fire station is over 80, 90 years old, that building. Am I right, Chief? Pretty close? It's run down. It's time for a new one. So the new city hall, my vision is to incorporate a new fire department, a new police department, and have a new city hall that not only you can have your clerk area and have our chamber area, but also have an area for you, the citizens, a community room, a community space that is so needed. And I guess one of my big caveats is, and they're not even going to fight me on it, we're going to put a splash pad for the kids, y'all. What we're doing is preparing for the future. There's a lot coming after me, after the city council. We're preparing for it. And I thank goodness we have funding. I'm very, very happy to know that we're going to bond and have the funding needed. But this is the future of Inman. This is where we're going. We have an architect that's working with us, Boudreaux, and we're going to come up with our new design. You will have say in that design, because this will be your city hall. So I tell you, I'm just extremely excited about what's taking place. It's been a lot of hard things, but we're moving, we're growing, and we can't do it without all of these employees that we have here. I want you to please just honor tonight the staff of the City of Inman, if you would please. We have the greatest staff ever. I'm just so honored to serve you. It has been truly a joy. And I thank you for defending Inman. I thank you for what you do. Thank you, Joe. But I thank you for standing up and defending him, and I thank you for being here tonight, because it shows me that you still care. It shows me that you're going to be here. You're going to be informed of what's taking place. And I can't thank these speakers enough for taking your time to be here with us tonight to share what's taking place in the great city of Inman, South Carolina. I think, am I missing anything, Kevin?
Oh, there's always lots more, but I think you did a good job,
It is truly an honor to serve you. We have those vendors out there. Now listen, take your phones out. We have some QR codes. If you got questions, you want to know what's going on, send us the questions so we can answer your questions tonight, okay? Inman, thank you. Be safe, drive home, and have a great time. And we are definitely moving forward. Thank you again.